Okay, this is the second part. I was filming, I have to use another camera right now because I was filming this video about 3 hours ago, and I was in the middle of it and the camera cut off, the battery ran out, so I had to charge it, and it's been 3 hours, so I don't know, it hasn't charged yet. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just taking some time when it runs out completely. But I've been out jogging. I've taken a shower in the meantime, but I remember where I was. I don't feel like redoing the whole video. I'm just gonna continue where I was and upload it as 2 parts, because I actually felt like I was surprisingly eloquent in the first part. If you compare it to what I usually feel that I am, like that, for example. No, anyway. So I just, fuck it, I'll just make 2 parts. I never do that, but you know, this time that's just how it's gonna have to be. So I'll just continue. I think I was talking about the ordeal. I was talking about the cinematography. It doesn't matter. I don't remember exactly what I was saying, so let's just skip ahead to the next one. But I'll just finish with saying that this is a great movie. I definitely did like that one. And then we'll move on to a TV show. And this is Breaking Bad. This is the 5th season, it says, but it's only season 5, part 1. Very good show. There are some great moments in this. And the ending is like what we have been waiting for, really. I mean, let's face it, it's one of those big things about the show that we have been waiting for. When is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? And it seems, well, who knows what's going to happen in the next season, or in the continuation of the season, because it kind of was more than hinted at, but it was very brief. So who knows if they're gonna take it further, or if it's gonna, well, you know what I mean if you've seen it. If not, let's just say that it is something you've been waiting for to happen. Then we got the movie Squirm, translated to The Worms in Swedish. I love the DVD cover and the back as well. However, the movie, it didn't suck. The plot sucked. A lot of the stuff with the worms really was really bad. However, I mean, it's a bad movie. Ultimately, it is a bad movie in my opinion. But I felt like it had some good stuff. I really like the scenery and the atmosphere that it builds up in the beginning really fast, and I like the actors actually, especially the main guy, Don Scardino, perhaps it might be. I think he went on to do some TV show and won a few Emmys or Golden Globes or something. I'm not sure what show it might be. Maybe it was not an acting performance. I really don't know. But Squirm, worth watching just because it's fun, but it's not a good movie. Then we got Young Doctors in Love. This, I mean, it's not that great, but I kind of did like it. It's better, like the first half or so is better. Well, it takes a little while to get going, but when it does, there are a lot of funny stuff in this one, and a lot of good actors. But it's not one of the best spoof movies out there. It's not forgettable, but it's not that memorable either. It's kind of in between a fine spoof movie, but not particularly good, I guess. And then we got this one. I've known about this one since 2008, I think, and I saw it at the store. I think I mentioned that when I unboxed it. It's the Super Banzai video show. I think this is from a show called Only Banzai, perhaps, an American show. It's not Japanese. I think it's American show, and it's about people putting on these ridiculous challenges. I mean, they're not ridiculous in the sense that they're over the top and hysterical and extreme. They're just stupid. I mean, I didn't finish watching this. I watched this with my cousin along with a bunch of other stuff when I was in Stockholm. came out today. And we did not finish it. I don't like. It's kind of an interactive take on the show. I read a positive review on it afterwards, and he was like, "Oh, it's so much fun that they bring us the great show Banzai, as not just put the best stuff on a DVD, but make it interactive as well." And yeah, maybe you can see it that way, but it's not good. This one my cousin really liked, and I liked it too. It was a lot of fun. It's The Backyard, a documentary on wannabe wrestlers, I guess, and they put on shows, amateur shows, obviously, in their backyards. And it's about a bunch of those guys who wants to become professional wrestlers. Maybe some of them just do it because it's fun, but it's really over the top. They cut themselves, they lit each other on fire, they throw each other from several feet up, like 10 feet jumps, and they don't get badly hurt in the movie. I think they talk about one person having to go to the hospital afterwards, but they don't film that. But you know, there's a lot of blood, a lot of pain. It is graphic, and if you know, everybody might not want to see it, but yeah, it's I kind of liked it actually. My cousin, as I think I said, really liked it. And then the last DVD, before I will talk about some stuff that we watched that I have seen before, that I brought to her, that I wanted to show her. I brought a whole bunch more stuff, but we didn't have time to watch everything, which I didn't think that we were going to have, but I wanted to have a lot to choose from. And I'm going to talk about what we watched, just for the hell of it. Why not? Anyway, this one, she bought this one. She didn't like it. I'll just show them this Apartment 1303. Actually, before I say what I was going to say, we filmed an update, me and my cousin, with this containing the stuff we bought in Stockholm, and she said that this was a remake on 1408. I don't think it is. You're gonna have to look it up. But we looked it up, and I'm not sure because we didn't look it up in detail. But we didn't find anything about that. So I think that she said that, oh, what movie was that I was thinking about then? So I don't think this is a remake of. I mean the other way around. That 1408 is a remake of this. Sorry. This kind of grew on me as it went by, and as I think back on it, yeah, okay, it's not bad, but it's very average. Has some bad stuff for sure, but it also has some pretty interesting elements. So, for horror fans, I'd say check this one out. And then to the stuff that, you know, this is not really part of the update. I just figured since I came home from Stockholm today, we've been watching a whole bunch of stuff. I'll just show you the stuff that I showed her that we watched, and why not? You don't have to watch it, but I felt like doing this. So we got Laputa, Castle in the Sky. Laputa. Hayao Miyazaki. I loved it when I first watched it. Still like it, but it's not as good as I remember it. Which is kind of the wrong thing to say, because I remember everything from it. I guess I just saw it in a different way this time around. I didn't appreciate it as much. I thought some of the stuff was a little too corny, maybe. Some stuff was a little, what can I say? Well, not very stylish. It's very entertaining though. Who knows? Maybe it will grow on me again. I really don't know. We watched also Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I was convinced that I was going to like more the second time, which I guess in a way I did, but at the same time I still don't entirely get this movie. It's interesting, very interesting. It is a good movie, but I'm gonna need more time with this one, I think. It's a very interesting movie, and it's well done, and it's memorable for sure. It's good. This one I definitely liked more the second time. there's a lot to take in, so there's no surprise that one might like it more the second time watching it. It's called Hausu, or House, Japanese, kind of like a genreless movie, or not genreless, it has a lot of genres, but hard to categorize it as one genre. I guess horror, but also comedy, and not fantasy, but a lot of supernatural elements, a lot of experimental elements. I mean, it felt like the director just did whatever the hell he felt like doing with this movie, and it totally works. It is great. Last time I appreciated it, but I wasn't able to. It was too much to take in, I think. It was just like, oh, holy crap, what is going on? Interesting, but I'm not sure if it's great. This time, however, I felt interesting, and it is great. I don't know. I just was able to appreciate it much more this time. If you haven't seen it, know what you're in for. It's a wild ride. No, it's very interesting. Then we got the classic that, I think it's safe to say that if you like horror and you haven't seen this, then, The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing. I wanted to get this on Blu-ray, and I probably will at some point, and watch it again on Blu-ray, but I just ended up watching it with her. I felt like bringing it there, and we watched it, and it truly has some of the best practical effects, not just horror, but some of the best practical effects, period, that I know of in any movie. It's just phenomenal, some of the stuff they did in here. And, yeah, great movie. And then I brought this Buster Keaton, well, I didn't bring the whole thing, I brought discs 4, 5, and 6, because they contained the movies Seven Chances, General, and Steamboat Bill Jr. I brought this to her last time, not to Stockholm, but she lives there temporarily, my cousin. I brought it to the south of Sweden when I visited her for a few days, a year ago or something. And she really liked it, so I figured I'll bring a couple more and show her more of it. And we watched Steamboat Bill Jr. and Seven Chances, and I liked both of them less, actually, the second time. Seven Chances in particular, I was like, Seven Chances is about him having to get married before 7 o'clock on his 27th birthday, because he is going to inherit a bunch of money, but he needs to get married at that time in order to inherit the money. And I remember that so much fun stuff going on with the army of brides, quite literally, and then he's running he's running down a hill, and there's these huge boulders chasing him, and I was like, oh man, that's hysterical, and I wanted to see it again. Actually, her mom also watched both the movies that we saw with us. But Seven Chances, this time around, I was like, wow, this is not as good as I remember. It's kind of overrated, actually. And I hate saying that about a Buster Keaton movie, but it kind of is. Steamboat Bill Jr. is very boring up until the hurricane sequence, which is awesome still. And of course there's the classic scene where he's standing like this and then a giant wall is falling on him and he's saved by the open window, which has been parodied in Looney Tunes, I think, and Jackass did something about that. And anyway, so I have to say that I'm disappointed with those two on the second watch, unfortunately. Then we saw some TV shows as well. We saw a little bit more than half of Flight of the Conchords season 1. I think I might have liked this more the first time, but it still has some very funny stuff. We didn't see all of it, so I have no doubt that the remaining episodes have a lot of fun stuff that I liked the first time that I just can't remember now. So, but I don't think I'm gonna continue rewatching it right now. However, this show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I brought both. Again, all these movies I brought to Stockholm. I didn't bring these whole boxes. I brought the discs in a case, or in this. Yeah, season 1 and season 2. I did not think that we were gonna watch all of this, but we did, and I even rewatched some of it again alone when she had gone to bed, and I didn't have much to watch, so I just put this on. Such a good show. I love this. And as much stuff as I have, I'm just gonna have to keep watching this right now. Actually, right after this video, I'm gonna watch season 3 of this, and then I'm gonna watch season 4 of this, and then I'm gonna watch season 5 of this, and then I'm gonna watch season 6 of this, and then I'm gonna watch season 7 of this. Season 8, however, I don't feel like rewatching yet. I wasn't planning on rewatching this show yet, but as I brought it to her, I can't stop. I have to continue now because I love the show. And as I said, I have so much stuff that I haven't seen yet. So yeah, a great time to choose something to rewatch, especially when I have, well, 4 seasons or something to see again. 5. I just have to continue because it's so funny. One of my favorite shows, I think, actually. Oh, I was going to mention a few things we watched that I don't have. We saw 2 movies in the movie theater. We saw The Lone Ranger, and her mom also joined us then. She's not my aunt. Her dad is my uncle, and you know. But she's like an aunt, and she came along with us. And I don't feel like talking about. The reason I don't want to talk about it is because I have so much to say, and I'm just going to be here all night. But it was okay. Some good stuff, a lot of horrible stuff. Let's just leave it at that. And we watched Despicable Me 2, which I was expecting to be a good movie, or not a good movie, but a pretty good sequel. I know those animated movies, I usually like them, but this one was bad. I'm very surprised at how little I liked it. It had some fun stuff, but there was almost no jokes that were truly funny and creative. Most of it was just mindless slapstick that is absolutely forgettable. And the worst thing was that there were people laughing their ass off, grown men laughing their ass off at this, and I was like, holy crap. I sound kind of arrogant right now, but how can you possibly find this so funny? I just don't get it. It's not funny. I really didn't like it. And it was too bad. We were at Stockholm in the central of Stockholm in the afternoon, and we just felt like watching a movie, and we ended up watching that one. I would have rather watched World War C or maybe The Internship or whatever it's called, but she didn't want to watch them, so we watched Despicable Me 2, and it was a bad choice. We also watched Tea with Mussolini, which she bought on DVD, which she showed in the DVD update that we made in Stockholm, which I thought was a very nice, cozy movie. Not great, but I kind of did like it. And that's pretty much what I have to say here. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add. So, yeah, feels weird to do 2 parts of one update, but since the camera cut off before, yeah, and I have to use another camera because it won't charge right now. So, and I have to do this video right now because it doesn't matter why, but I just have to do it right now. So that is everything for this time. This is everything that I have talked about today. So I'm gonna put these on the shelves right now. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you very much for watching.